In this video, I'm going to be installing a Walker brand exhaust system on this 2008 Nissan Xterra. This should be the same from about 2005 to 2015. Now Walker is a pretty decent brand. This isn't that cheap eBay Chinese junk that doesn't line up. So we're just going to be doing from the cat's back. So we're going to have kind of a cross pipe, muffler, and tailpiece. So this is a Midwest vehicle, and it's nice and rusty underneath. So a lot of times these nuts and bolts will not loosen up, so we have to resort to either the Sawzall or a cutoff wheel. So if you're fortunate to live down south, you can simply just unbolt it. Alright, so this is what Midwestern winters do to a vehicle. The snow and salt pretty much rust everything. But what we're going to be replacing is that cross pipe right there. It's got a flange bolted onto the rear cat on that side. Then you can see we have a clamp right there. And then it is bolted right here to the other side of the cat. So from there, all the way back, muffler and tailpipe is what we're going to replace. So if you are fortunate enough to live where there's no snow and salt, you can unbolt these flanges from right there and the other side. Otherwise, I'm going to get my cutoff wheel and just come up here on this side here and here. All right, so there was no way of taking the nuts off of this thing. They were all basically welded on. Basically, you couldn't even see threads that were so worn out from the salt spray here in the wintertime. So what I had to use, I have a 4.5-inch grinder. I have a disc pad on there. That's what helps me grind them down flush. And then I use a cutoff wheel that basically just zips right through there in about 20 seconds. So I've got both sides up here loose. And then even the hanger is basically welded into place. So I wound up just cutting that as well. And then back at the tailpipe, we'll go take a look at that next. I mean, you can see all the rust bits on the ground, and that's just from me just like twisting. I've not been hammering or anything. So right there is a hanger for the tailpipe, and I just zip through that with a cutoff wheel. Like I said, it takes about 20 seconds to cut through some of this stuff. Then I've got one more hanger. It's right in there. And I'm going to have to go and zip that one off, and then the exhaust should come right out. I'm just laying everything kind of on top to check the fitment. And it looks like all the hangers are in the right place. And I've already laid the tailpipe on top of there. It looks like everything's going to fit up pretty darn good. Here are pressed in. And what I did, I just cut them off flush. And now I'm just going to drill them out. If you have good high quality drill bits, you can drill these 2 holes out in about 5 minutes. You can go ahead and slide the muffler section in and slide these hangers into their locations. And then we can go ahead and install the gasket and bolt this side up. An easy way to drill those out, you want to start with the small drill bits and work your way up to the bigger ones. So I just used 4 different drill bits, drilled out both sides of these at about 15 minutes total. At this point I've got the exhaust kind of loosely bolted on. I ran the tailpipe through the back, connected that to the muffler, and then to lift the muffler up onto the hangers, you have a hanger right there, which you can easily slide on. But then this one right here is a lot harder to do that, so it's easier to take this hanger off. Just unbolt that right there and there. Mine just happened to break the stud off, so I'm going to have to drill that one out. But once you unbolt that bracket, slide it onto the muffler hanger, and then put the bracket up, it's a lot easier to put it on that way. Cross pipe, I have that just hand tightened. That comes along through here. Right now I just need to put on the exhaust clamps for that seam there and the one behind the muffler. Alright guys, so the exhaust is pretty much completely installed. I just finished putting on that clamp there at the back. Now that clamp there is a 2 1/4 and the one up front is a 2 1/8. Alright, so that clamp there on the cross pipe is 2 1/8. And I put it to the side because I don't want the studs hanging down, so if you do go over something in the road, it won't catch on your exhaust. Reuse your old heat shielding and put that back on this new exhaust. Or if it's not reusable like mine, it's completely rusted, I'm going to order a couple pieces off Amazon and then I'll just go ahead and secure those on. Congratulate yourself on not having to take this to a mechanic. You've saved yourself a lot of time and money by doing it yourself. Now if you do have super rusty bolts like this vehicle, it's fairly easy just to cut them off and drill them out with some good carbide drill bits. I highly recommend you use Walker exhaust or other name brand exhaust. I've tried installing some Chinese exhaust in the past and there's a lot of times the tubing's too long, you got to cut it down, some of the bolt holes don't line up, you got to drill them out. When you get a good quality exhaust, it goes together so much quicker and easier. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.